draft.
Okay, so here we go into our pick and ban, and Lindis is banned out quickly for Divine Vendetta.
Yeah, and don't forget that Florentino was on that side, on the Divine Vendetta side. So let's see if Existence, if you are on red side, the obvious bans here is Florentino and Darcy. I mean, that is the meta. That should be automatically the meta ban for red side. Let's see the decision they make, TJ.
If Divine Vendetta play this well, they're looking to get Z maybe on an Elsu in the side lane, but at the very least a Wisp or Telenaut. If they do that, they're happy. Other things they're really looking for, they'd like to get Nacroth onto Mathroy when possible, things like that.
Yeah, so with an Elsu ban, that means either Florentino or Darcy is going to go through here.
It's gotta be Darcy. Don't do this to us, Existence.
Who would you deal with?
Oh my God, they're both getting through.
They're both getting through. Maybe this is a new strat from Existence here. Are they gonna play, or do they play Darcy though? That's another question you have to ask.
I mean, is anybody on this team ready to actually play Darcy? Because it's obvious, isn't it? It's the obvious thing we're expecting. I'm joking around, we want to see it. I do want to see it. I want to see competitive play with Darcy,
I mean,
but we don't expect it.
If TJ can play it, they can play it.
I legitimately think there is no character, there is no better character than the Darcy in the game right now. And I think that the one thing is, I found incredible success with the character in jungle.
You found incredible success, did you?
Incredible success with the character in jungle, and I don't know how Mathroy feels playing that character in jungle. So I'd say, given Mathroy's character history, it's more likely that Divine Vendetta run the character in the mid lane, which is a less powerful rendition of the character.
Yeah, and the interesting thing, we see like 2-lane, side lane, which works really well. Darcy, I argue, can be played in any lane. He can also be played in jungle because of his clear. He has so much burst and clear power that he actually can be played and flexed not only in side lane, but potentially even jungle if they have tried
jungle.
This is a very long take here on whether Florentino is going to get locked in or not.
Oh, yeah,
surely he is going to be.
The only hope for this team is that their Florentino gets scaled, so it will be locked in alongside an Annette. The big thing they need now is the opportunity to get in contact with the Darcy in the backline. Stuns don't work on Darcy. He has stun immunity with his first ability, so they need mobility burst damage or ranged poke burst damage. I'd look for maybe a Kali to play them in mid, just hope to outrange them.
Yeah, Kali may work definitely in the late game against Darcy because of that range that she has. Richter Ryoma being picked here, hovered over, is an interesting one for Divine Vendetta because they actually have preferred Varys over in the side lane, especially for Fu, as we saw in the head-to-head matchup. Fu has a phenomenal Varys in that Slayer lane, but they're going to offer Ryoma and Richter here.
Yep, those are now confirmed. Richter and Ryoma are in, so we'll get one more pick from Existence before we get our second round of bans.
Divine Vendetta didn't opt to get one of the two ranged characters, which means if Existence want to force out that Yorn again, they could do so. They could force Z out of their comfort zone.
It's out of your comfort zone as well, to be honest.
One thing I do like about this, since Richter is off the table for X6, they can't play mid lane Richter. So that's actually a good thing. That's a benefit. That's a plus for Existence here, because I did that last week. And Ryoma being taken away.
That tilted you, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Very much.
Richter Ryoma was the combo that Existence liked to pick a lot. So maybe Divine Vendetta has done some homework and have denied their preferences.
Once again, Darcy is very powerful. Darcy, however, is a mid to late game scaled character. Definitely a little bit more weak in the early game when their Dimensional Cube isn't doing enough damage yet. That's their big AoE burst. So I'd say the best hope for Existence is to build towards an early game composition. And so far, they have a lot of early game engage, a lot of early game stun. Maybe if they can shut down the Darcy quick and mid, that works out in their favor.
Yeah, with the Crush pick, though, it looks like they're not going for a massively strong early game. I mean, Florentino and Annette are very strong together early, but also Richter and Ryoma offer a lot of early game presence as well. And the Crush is not something that we've seen them in the past, last week. They have not played any Crush, so this being popped up may be one of their potential trump cards that they have kept hidden.
Existence banned out Telenaut there. That one's confirmed now.
Yeah, it'll probably be Wisp as well if they've stuck to their homework. Existence do run a really good Crush. We've seen it plenty of times on Chicken, plenty of times on Blue Triton. It is one of their strongest characters. They flex it through support or side lane.
Oh, wow.
So this is a really solid draft for them. I actually really like Crash early because once you get that Metamorphosis, you're going to win all the early game team fights as long as you spend the ult right.
Yeah, and we can't forget the rank breaker Crush builds.
Oh, yes.
That do a lot of damage on the side.
That.
And I think Crush with Annette is actually a very strong combo. And the key here is how are they going to leverage that to make sure that they burst Darcy down? Because if you let Darcy get his passive, right, dimensional force, it's going to be really tough to counter him.
So it'll be the Cricknack ban out from Divine Vendetta. Again, they're worrying about dive onto the Darcy. Existence are also worrying about diving the Darcy. That's why they get rid of the Teamy, the potential resurrect for the mage in the backlines. That does mean Wisp will get through this draft, and that should be a pretty obvious pick for Z.
Yeah,
but that would mean Richter, Ryoma, one of them is being played jungle.
Yeah, so they have a chance to pick another side lane, or their jungler or mid lane here. Do you think potentially they'll pick up this Kali, or are they going to go for and secure a key jungler, like an assassin jungler that they're really comfortable on? Potentially Blue Triton, I know he's played a lot of melee junglers. So let's see if they're going to go with what?
Death Bowl.
Jinnar. We haven't seen Jinnar very often.
Not very often at all, no. This is unexpected.
This would be Crash Jinnar Death Bowl. And this is something we saw a decent amount during Season 2, particularly from Spanish teams like Existence. Use the Crash as a strong engage. The Crash actually leaves behind a speed boost on the Metamorphosis water track, and the Jinnar can Exuberance and just follow in, and they can operate as this tightly packed unit that is doing a ton of damage and not dying. That might work if they can run over the Darcy. The problem is, Darcy has AoE damage and so much.
And he has range as well. Oh.
Nope.
I like anything. The Grak would be beautiful with the Darcy, I think. Yabeneth also functions very well. The big thing you want is stun, slow, things that set up, like an Aram, that set up for the Darcy to be able to land those slightly longer timer dimensional cubes.
Yeah, Aram and Ibanez complete Divine Vendetta's lineup after we were taken through a little selection of skins there.
Yeah, and Ibanez is great because we saw 09 play him so well. He had such great engages, but the key is Divine Vendetta, they have to have team synergy. They have to combo together, and both these teams actually are pretty even, I feel, in late game team fights because of their lack of focus. But Morin being picked up, TJ.
I don't think late game team fights can possibly go Existence's way if the Darcy is alive.
Yeah.
You are so all in on Darcy just running this game.
So much damage late game. I legitimately believe, because if you build Apocalypse, if you get the full mage build in the late game for Darcy, there is legitimately no character that does more damage.
Roids just wants a marksman. Who's it going to be?
It's probably going to be a jungle marksman here, so I'd side with Slims.
Very...
Yeah, because they want engage. So the Flying Spear functions as an extra tool to start these fights alongside the Crash of the Jinnar. They want to move in as a unit.
Yeah, this is a little deja vu for me. That when they met Divine Vendetta last time in the Valor series, they gave over Florentino, who was the most powerful character. They've given over Darcy in this situation, and they have picked Jinnar and Slims, who last season were meta, but this season I would argue they're not meta. So what does Existence have up their sleeve here that they're trying to pull off?
But Ryoma and Richter on Divine Vendetta's side that's feeling a little awkward to me. I know you're saying that they're probably going to run one in mid. One in jungle.
It'll probably be the Ryoma in jungle, and that's something we've seen a fair bit. One of the most powerful parts of the Ryoma is that he can be played anywhere. And you can run the Ryoma as a viable jungle. You can run the Ryoma as a viable top or bottom lane. I haven't seen him in support yet, but someone will try. And it's very powerful because in the draft phase, you can run that Richter Ryoma duo anywhere on the map, and they can't really adjust to it.
Yeah, that's why Richter Ryoma are so good, because you can flex them, side lane, jungle. And more importantly, I love the Aram pick, because Aram with Ibanez, it gives a lot of protection and also engage potential with Darcy. So if you're trying to dive Darcy, you have to deal with Ibanez, Nature's Realm, and you have to deal with the snare from Aram. I mean, that's going to be really hard to even touch the Darcy with his range.
It is possible. I am vastly overestimating the damage of the Darcy based on my limited experiences at my admittedly mid-level solo queue.
I think you mean incredible success. I think you mean.
But
the words I'm sure you used and will hang on to and pin to your grave when you die.
I believe that there is absolutely no way they win this game if the Darcy does a 10th the damage I think he does mid and late game.
There's no way they'll win if he only does a 10th of the damage he can do. So, have they got a skilled player behind Darcy?
I think so.
We'll see.
Yeah, we're going to find out. So we're going to get some Darcy action in our very first game. Divine Vendetta against Existence. It's going off now. Welcome to Week 7 of the Valor Series Season 3.
Bamboo versus Fico in mid. Fico indeed running the Darcy. You asked Matt, do they have a good player on the Darcy? Fico's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, Fico is actually one of the members I took notes about, because they need to play actually more around Fico, especially on his Liliana. He's very talented, very consistent, great positioning.
You can already see Divine Vendetta looking to gain some positioning in the enemy jungle, bullying back Roids on the invade, forcing a full 4-man rotate from existence to defend this Sage Golem. Z's got to flicker out. The Flying Spear does stun up 09. Vigo's arriving soon, though. You can see already the dimensional cubes, the damage. Bathroy with the pinwheel stun. 09 did go down to Roids on the sidelines. That means a kill in their favor, but Vigo absolutely obliterated Bamboo in the meantime.
Yeah, and what a smart engage there. And invade by 09 and Z, because they're both so strong in the early game, and they were able to get the blue going. However, they did give over that first blood. Beautiful rotation there by Roids to get that first blood.
Vigo is already struggling a little bit with mana. That's something to keep an eye on, I think. Because those dimensional cubes are the secret to his wave clear, and if he falls behind, although the Phoenix Tier is rapidly undoing that danger, and oh my lord, Bamboo, you'd better run. He's forced to stay close because of the dimensional cube behind him, and 09 just bullies him back. Chicken tries to slow this down, but he can't. That's a kill in mid.
So, to answer your question, TJ, Fico does know how to play Darcy. He just used the dimensional cube to zone him out, and then he's using the dimensional walk to get that huge burst of damage off. And also, it gives Dimensional Force, a passive, once activated, it replenishes his mana, which is why in lane he has so much harass.
Look at how quickly he's bursting down that dragon. Why existence?
And one thing, you mentioned the Dimensional Cube, he actually landed a great one in that first fight, but also want to give credit to Z. He had a great line tamer that he threw out.
Chickerton is being knocked pretty low around the side here. 09's consistently playing very aggressive. The Sage Golem itself would be picked up. Nature's Realm nearly grabs Chickerton on the flank. Roids himself is bullied as he tries to interfere with the Sage Golem, which does go over to Divine Vendetta.
Yeah, so far they took advantage of the dragon. They converted into this jungle invade. And Divine Vendetta, look at this 5-man rotation. They are looking so strong, and the whole team is playing like one unit right now, TJ.
One of the great things about Fico on this Darcy is with the empowered M1, or with the empowered auto attack. Oh my god, there's the ult, the portal! It's beautiful! Bamboo shredded as Fico demolishes him. It's time for tutorials another day. Snare shuts down Triton. Z will go down in exchange, but Clemers has been called out. This is their hope, using the side lane, but I don't think Clemers can win this, not with the Spectral Hour, not with few arriving.
What a play there. First off by Fico with that the ultimate from Darcy, and then the follow-up snare from Z, and then the rotation to save their team from the Florentino. What great play by Divine Vendetta.
They want to grab Fico now, though when they spend 2 ults to do so, he flickers out but can't do it. A kill onto Fico, shutting down the Darcy.
Yeah, but look at it, they're trading. So Divine Vendetta see that 3-man collapse onto Fico there, and they're going to try to trade and get down that top tower, but they're not going to take it in the 5-man rotation coming from x6 there. A little overly defensive.
But they hold the tower, and they get a kill onto the mid lane carry. Surely that's good.
Yeah, and now the strategy is they need to figure out how to counter Darcy here, because his flicker is down, but look at where he's at right now. He has 3 kills. He's 2.3k gold, most fed in the game. He's going to really start spiking now in the mid to late game stage.
Yeah, look for the build to contain something like an Apocalypse to empower that basic attack. Chickerton here will need to back off as the invade comes through from Divine Vendetta again in the jungle.
And they have that jungle timer down, TJ. They have set up that 4-man rotation, appear when it's up, and now the dragon is in play, and they're going to try to grab it as well.
Roids did poke in. He knows they're in the area. He does have ultimate soon. If he leaps in, he'll get it, but I don't think he wants to take that risk. Not when 09 dives him, shutting down their retreat as the Abyssal is scooped up for the 2nd time by Divine Vendetta.
Very nice Abyssal Dragon swoop, the 2nd one. What x6 needs to do here is they need to trade. They have to trade knowing that they're doing these type of rotations. They have to try to trade across the map to stay in the game because they're going to start falling behind more and more.
And Triton did know where they could find that opportunity, but was unable to land it. Now the Exuberance comes through, but with 09's arrival, they can't take that risk.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Their Exuberance is used. There's no really conversion to a kill, so they can potentially put pressure on that top tower. Some nice defense by Divine Vendetta.
Oh my god, Fico, the portal, it's already deployed. Check it out, it's pulled back, he's gone.
Yeah, and gone like that. Dimensional portal, you're gonna come back to where you were marked, and that is the danger of that ultimate there. And Clemars not being able to do much here as Florentino, not winning his top lane.
Royd's down bottom is trying to hold tower. It looks like he'll manage it, so I'd like to talk about that mid engagement because x6tence spent his Hurricane Wall after he's been marked. That seems strange to me.
It might be a desperate play there. He knew that he was going to die, so he tried to delay it a little longer.
Speaking of, Bamboo pulled back in. He's gone again. Fico absolutely deleting people. Now the cube comes through. Triton needs to leap to safety, but even the empowered attacks off the walk are doing so much damage.
Yeah, you can see the damage from Dimensional Portal, but when the cube, that Dimensional Cube lands, you see the amount of burst it does. And on top of that, when he then uses Dimensional Portal again, it takes the cube off the cooldown. And look at this, Fico again on the advantage.
You better run, Fico. Oh my God.
Oh my God, that's the damage from Dimensional Walk there. And you see Apocalypse being built. That makes that auto attack even more powerful because it does 300 damage plus the AP scaling has 80% of AP damage. So combined with Apocalypse, it can literally basically take you down to half health. Yeah, it can do that basically.
Bamboo will need to bail out of mid. All of x6tence forced pretty far back here.
x6tence, they have to kind of regroup. They are so behind. They're giving up the third dragon now. They're not trading anything. They're dying a slow death, TJ. I mean, they're not putting pressure anywhere across the map. Florentino isn't able to do much, and they're being choked down slowly but surely.
I don't know, bud. At 7 minutes, I'd say this is pretty quick.
It is. It is pretty quick. And you can see, like you said, Darcy is coming on.
They're going to grab this Dark Slayer.
Yeah, and they're feeding him. I mean, look at him. He's at 5.5k gold. The most fed in the game. 6 kills already to his name.
09 will get tagged down, but with Fico's presence, x6tence don't dare. Like you said, they were feeding him, giving him a lot of jungle. You can see the effect of that now as he starts to push forward, absolutely decimating people. Ring of the Fiend. 09 exposes the flank here. And x6tence have enough players that Fico shifts his focus.
Yeah, look at Z. He's looking for the right focus here. Arm is so great, doing that snare under the tower. 5-man rotation, very aggressive. 09 and Arm the front lines.
A little bit of poke here on the tower. Good defense, though. The flank now comes through. Clemers onto Mathroy. That's a lot of focus. Mathroy just backs out, though. Laps the stuns. The exuberance is there on the Z, but it's not enough damage. They can't connect with Fico, and he just dances through the backlines. Finally, Royds connects at close range, but the entirety of Divine Vendetta rotate in, and the damage isn't enough to overwhelm the Darcy.
Yeah, the damage is just too much coming from Divine Vendetta. They try to jump onto Mathroy, and the entire team counter engages. Mathroy does fall after, but you can see how ahead Divine Vendetta is and how easy they're able to take out Clemers first, then Bamboo, then Royds easily.
That was a full commit. Oh my goodness!
Ouch! Did that sting?
Yeah, a little bit.
And he's
look at what he's doing to towers.
Yeah, he's the support. He's only level 9 support, and the damage coming from Fico, it's just too much, TJ.
I'd like to point out there was x6tence full diving Fico that last fight. Their one goal in that team fight was to kill Fico.
Yeah.
And they did not come close.
And again, the Dimensional Walk, it's such a good disengage ability that Fico has, and then they had to then focus Mathroy, and they couldn't even kill Mathroy. He was able to escape that fight. So the key is, like, how can they lock down Fico here? They have to leverage the metamorphoses and combo that stun, but with the front line that they have with Ybeneth and Aram, that's a very tall tale to ask for.
Let's see how much damage Fico does to Dark Slayer. I'd be curious. It's not nearly as bad as I thought. x6tence in the meantime. We'll find out how much damage Fico does to him. 09 does get chunked down. A little bit of damage from Clemers in response, and that's a good look as Royds takes the front line with Metamorphosis Nature's Realm. Heals him up through, but Bamboo gets the kill. Darkslayer's picked up, but Fico's low. Royds just tacks through the entire line. He gets 3 kills on the push, and that's enough to keep x6tence alive as Blue Triton comes through as well. Fuse trying to run, but he can't hide from Clemers. A double kill, if not more, to Royds, and he saved the game for x6tence.
Oh my God, that was crazy. Royds was the MVP with that rank breaker crash, a beautiful metamorphosis. He lands it onto Fico, then he immediately jumps onto Fico, gets the kill onto Fico, and follows up and gets the kill onto Mathroy next. What a play by Royds, and turning the game for x6tence for just that brief fight.
Has that saved them?
It potentially could. If they take in Rage Missile Dragon, it's going to set them up for the counter attack here.
They're rushing this dragon. Z's in the area, now joined by 09. I don't know if they've got it. The snare. Z, it's been so close, but x6tence get the dragon. Now they need to survive, get out of this pen, and Mathroy's arrived alongside Fico. They're decimated. They're gone.
That was so crazy there. But the good news is they did get the Enraged Dragon, because if that went over to Divine Vendetta, it would have been a really tough situation for them.
Fico, the flicker, he's got it. There's the full Dark Blessing spent. Bamboo barely survives.
What, that flicker saved his life, TJ. If he got hit by that dimensional portal, he would have got pulled back to the portal and easily got a kill for Fico.
Now Existence need to hold their high ground. 6 more seconds on the respawns. Roids is here, the hero of the last fight, but they've already lost the mid-high ground.
Yeah, they have to play defense and play really smart here. They have to be careful for Z. Remember, Z's playing the arm. That snares make a big difference.
Metamorphosis, Roids, full engage. It's good. The Exuberance. Fico's burst down. He's gone. Few's gone as well. A brilliant team fight. Clemers, though, is jumped down in the backlines. He's barely surviving in the midst of it. He's done it. Finally falling in exchange for complete team ace.
That is a team ace. They can potentially win this game here because you have 30 seconds when that ace happened. 20 seconds now on Fu. And Roids was the difference maker yet again. That metamorphosis, that target focus onto Fico, and then destroying Fico in just a few auto attacks. Roids is literally saving the entire Existence team right now.
One hope. They have this mid lane wave. 3 seconds left on the respawns. They'll get a tower. They'll get back in this game, but they need to win at least one more team fight. And Fico is barreling towards them.
Yeah, you can see the level parity. Oh!
Triton wants the damage. They don't quite have it.
Yeah, they don't quite have it, but you can see they're catching up now. The items, the gold parity is starting to catch up. The level parity is there. Existence could not be in a better spot from how they were so behind in that early and mid game.
They're back in this game.
Yeah, they are so back in this game.
But they're still behind in terms of towers. Those 2 high grounds will punish them.
Yeah, the hope that I have, though, even though when the high grounds are down, the hope that I see is Roids and the teamwork between him and Bamboo. When Roids lands a Metamorphosis, he engages really hard with a Jinr, activates Exuberance, and it does so much AoE damage. And Divine and Vendetta, they're not doing a good enough job of protecting Fico. They actually split their focus a little bit. Mathroy needs to run away, because Roids, he's just jumping in there and just doing so much damage, chasing everyone down.
This is Rank Breaker, Mantle of Ra, Omni Arms crashed.
Yeah.
Almost full damage.
That is a lot of burst, and against Fico, who has 0 defense. So literally, with that build, you can blow him up before that Rhea's Blessing can save him.
He has now added Rhea's Blessing, though, which gives him a lot of lifesteal. It's the best lifesteal item for magic damage characters. Given how much damage he's also doing, that means he should be able to stay alive and trade in these later fights, so long as he can land an attack.
Yeah, the key is going to be how well is Z going to leverage her snare. And we talked about Z being a key player on this team, as well as 0-9. He has to use that Nature's Realm to help disengage and save Fico, because if that Metamorphosis lands on that team, they have to react to it.
Z called out a bit, poked down, Flying Spear will go wide though. Existence not willing to take a fight, they're not sure they can win. Yeah,
that is very smart, because Z is the tank on the team, and that is not the person to focus, so you need to get location on Fico, because you kill Fico, you'll win every fight going forward. If Fico survives, there's no way I see Existence can win a fight.
One team fight likely decides the game, and one kill within that team fight will decide it.
Yeah, so much on the line, TJ. Divine Vendetta has to win. They have to win this next fight, because if they don't, they're out.
Their playoff hopes rest on one team fight, them keeping Fico alive.
They have to keep Mr. Fico alive the best that they can, and can they do that here? A lot of pressure, and this is where we see the best of the best, but also see sometimes players making some rash decisions that could put their team in a bad spot.
09 maybe makes that one mistake. Steps a little bit too far forward again, though the tank backs him up. Divine Vendetta playing for their shot at Sydney, playing for their shot at the playoffs, are huddling round this Dark Slayer.
Yeah, they're both playing so patiently. They know how much is on the line. They're waiting for the right opportunity to engage. I love Roids' positioning. Dark Slayer is in play right now, and that's going to be a key objective for contention.
Existence have to know this has started. That's why they've started pushing forward now. Fico and Mathroy poked at it, but didn't full commit to it. Mathroy's just keeping it going. The rest of the team wants to be a part of it. Existence, they fall back, they cycle back. That means Dark Slayer goes over to Divine Vendetta.
Yeah, there wasn't much they can do there, because look at the dragon lane. All that huge wave is pushing, so as a result, Bamboo has to answer, and this is why losing your high to ground towers is so important to map control, because if Divine Vendetta knows that the other lane is pushing that hard, they can then make a pick for Dark Slayer, and that's exactly what they did.
Roids needs to play back. He'll need to play safe in the back lines. Front line, though, isn't the place for him. A lot of focus on him. The star player for this team, we called him. He's been trying to contest against that Drake.
Yeah, he's been trying to clear that wave out and contest that Drake. Let's see if they can get a pick here. They're going to wait for the right opportunity.
Tower's gone.
Yeah, Tower's gone.
This is absolutely critical for x6tence. They need their perfect team fight. There's the portal sped. A full dive in. It pulls Babu out. Metamorphosis. That could have ruined it all. Do into the backline. He's doing the damage. Babu's gone. Claire's is gone. x6tence, they're gone. But Roy's in the front line has managed to land the trades. Fuse been burnt down. Fico stayed alive. Dashing back and obliterating the backline as Roids falls. So too do x6tence, and the core will be taken by Divine Vendetta, keeping their playoff dreams alive.
What a game, TJ. That was so close. I love the comeback coming from x6tence multiple times, but in the end, Mr. Fico, him staying alive in that last fight was ultimately what determined it. Roids had a good metamorphosis, but for some way, somehow, they're able to protect Fico. He uses Dimensional Walk to